think it did, mainly because I think in phase 1 it was just the general ideas that a lot of Singaporeans wanted to talk about, and I think it was a good cross-section in phase 1. And in this phase 2, I think from phase 1 we've managed to kind of streamline a lot of some of the key ideas or key aspirations that a lot of Singaporeans have, and that in phase 2 they clearly have kind of extracted all the bits that I guess could be executed on a more practical level, because in phase 1 there was a lot of idealism, a lot of thoughts about how we can make things better, and some of them were really out of the box. Some were practical, some weren't. Some were a little too aspirational, like maybe in 50 years or so. But I think today we managed to kind of clamp it down to certain things that we can try to achieve within the next 20 years, which is a bit more manageable, I suppose.
I just want to say that I want to thank you for all this, all your contributions. These are things that we need to think through quite deeply about where the changes are. And we don't run a perfect system, but I think there are strengths in our system which we need to continue to develop. There are weaknesses in our system. Sometimes the trouble is that the strengths and weaknesses come together. The one thing which I always take away from all our Singapore conversations is that we as a people, as Singaporeans, believe in excellence. Right? That even if we want to be a char kway teow man, we want to be the best char kway teow man in Singapore. But we also have to accept the fact that if you want that amongst the hundreds of char kway teow men in Singapore, not everyone would have Mercedes drivers queuing up, not everybody will drive Mercedes. And the question is, how do you recognize a whole range of different abilities? The social aspect of it is not so straightforward. But any change, as I said, requires a big takeaway from Imran's team that it is we ourselves as change agents. Do we celebrate success? Do we really recognize people for who they are? Or in social conversation, I think one group said talk about comparison. I think you mentioned quite a bit about comparison. Right? What car do you drive? What house are you in? Is your kid in a branded school or is your kid in a neighborhood school? That conversation I hear so often that I think it will be a big change if all of us start, not asking that kind of questions about whether your car is bigger than mine or whether your house is bigger than mine. Then I think we'll make the change.